What is going on, guys? John here from John's Fishing Channel. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Favorite this video, would appreciate that. Welcome to a edition of evening fishing. It's about 6 p.m. Sun's kind of still up there. It's going to drop pretty rapidly. And a lot of times when it's warm out like it is now and the sun starts to go down, the largemouth will really turn on and kind of start biting both above water and below water. So today we're just going to be kind of buzzing around the lake a little bit. Alright guys, so I have the first fish of the night on. I was fishing a rubber worm, kind of just casting towards the weeds and bringing it back. I haven't seen a lot on the top today, so so there it is. First largemouth of the night. Just a little guy, about ½ pound. Probably just under a year old. Trying to fight for some food. It's a good sign though. It's always nice to come out here and catch fish because there's a lot of fish kind of jumping out in the middle. I think they're probably about bass the same size that we just caught, either chasing sunfish or some sort of bug or bait fish. But you know, it's always a good sign to come out here and catch a fish. All right, fish number 2. Also caught this on a rubber worm. Even though it's really nice out and it's still a little quiet, seems like the fish are a little deep right now than they normally would be. But it's been such a cold summer here in northern Wisconsin. It's kind of interesting. It really has just kind of off-thrown a lot of stuff. Come on. Huh. I actually just pulled this right out of his mouth. He looked at me like he was not happy. You know, under ½ pound, but a decent little fish. Go ahead and turn off the GoPro. I use the GoPro for a lot of topwater stuff. I like to release the bigger fish underwater and, you know, and kind of watch them swim off. Or if I'm bringing in a big fish, I'll use the GoPro. But you know, I really enjoy being out on the lake on an evening like this. I'm actually using a tripod, but as you can see, I mean, it's flat as a mirror. There's no wind. It's about I don't know, about 70, 72 degrees out here, and the sunshine is actually fantastic. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt because it wasn't very nice earlier in the day, and then it kind of cleared out, got really nice. So I am going to continue kind of fishing just a little bit deeper here. Just about 10, 12, 15 feet of water, you know, and they're all, so far most of the fish I've caught today have been, over the last few days, have been pretty much in deeper water. So, you know, sometimes you just got to test the water, kind of go around the lake. Oh, there's a bite. And, you know, see where the fish might be. Sometimes they're in the weeds, sometimes they're on the rocks, sometimes they're kind of cruising the middle, they might sit out in the deep holes. There's a lot of different areas that the fish are going to be in the lake. A lot of panfish in this lake too. They're pretty interesting little fish. You know, they school up. And they all kind of hang out in the same area of the lake, the same depths. You know, they'll be in 3 to 5 feet of sand or 8 feet of weeds, but they're always kind of moving around. People are always kind of hunting those and trying to find them. Another tactic I'm using tonight also is I've got about a dozen leeches with me. Throwing it out behind the boat about 20 feet, and I'm just kind of dragging it behind me to see what I'll catch. You know, you never know what you'll catch just kind of dragging something out there. Stuff's always swimming by, swimming along. You know, you can get crappie, sunfish, walleye, bass, maybe a muskie. Very unlikely though, because they don't really go for that small little bait. You know, they like big fish. So I've got that going for me too. It's a wonderful night, and man, I'm feeling happy. Glad you guys are watching. Alright, so I'm just kind of fishing away here. One thing I've always been taught too growing up in fishing is if you have like a little bit of weeds on your line like this, you always want to take it off, no matter how small of an amount it may be. That little amount of weeds, on your lure can throw off. I mean, it could really, a fish could swim right up to it, see it, and say, you know what, I'm not really into salad or seafood. But then it kind of allows them to inspect the bait a little bit and wonder, like, well, why does this, you know, leech worm looking thing have weeds hanging off of it? So always clean the weeds off, and that'll help you probably catch more fish. It's kind of funny when you're fishing with a bobber and a worm, or a bobber and a leech, or a bobber and a minnow. You can kind of tell what kind of fish is eating your bait. Panfish, sunfish, crappie. Crappie's not so much. They'll hit it a little harder, but the panfish, you know, they'll take it and they'll hit it, and your bobbler will kind of go doop, 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 and finally it'll go down after a while. You know, a bass or a walleye, when they hit it, it's instantaneous. It's gone. You know, there's tension on the line, and that's kind of one way to tell, you know, what is out there and what might be chewing on your bait. Got the biggest fish of the night on so far. Oh yeah, that is definitely the biggest one of the night. Whoo! Look at that. Woo! About a 1 pound bass. Well, maybe not. The first one I caught actually could have been a little bigger. I was just making a joke with you guys, hoping to get you all a little excited. But you know, it's a nice quiet night. Just had another boat come by and talking about, you know, what we were catching. They said they were catching a lot of bass too, and told them, you know, missed a couple big ones, probably about 2 5-pounders today. I told them I missed them over there on the other side of the lake, not down here on this side of the lake though, so they'd go away. I don't want them to pull in front of me and go, oh really, right over there, and then go fish right in front of me. I feel like there is a little bit of a fisherman's etiquette, you know, boater's etiquette when people are fishing. Especially, this lake's about 320 acres, my bobber's going down there. And there's only 2 of us, so you know, why come right by me? Go over to the other side of the lake. But you know, I tend to avoid other fishermen and people, and you know, if someone's out there fishing, you know, you kind of give them some space, and if you know where they're going, you don't go in front of them. If you do want to fish, you fish behind them and kind of follow them. I guess it's not like, you know, it's not like written law, but it's just kind of, it's nice. Okay, so the sunfish are going crazy out there, be eating my leech like nuts. I mean, they're insane. It's kind of funny because I don't want to catch a sunfish, but they're all that are eating my leech right now. So I've got, there we go. Oh, that's a good one, come on. No. I think they may be just a little bit too small to get this in their mouth, which means I don't want to catch them. So it's a good thing they're not actually just eating my leech. All right, here we go again with the bobber. Just go ahead and let that sit out here and fish this out here. It's a great day to be fishing in northern Wisconsin. Alright, so I figured out what was out there eating my leech. Oh man, look at the size of this fish. It's so big. I'm just kidding. But these little guys, they're just sitting out there chewing on my leech, and it's driving me nuts because I don't want to catch those little guys. So I'm going to go ahead and take the bobber in for a little bit until we get kind of situated, move over to the other side of the lake. I'm going to fish for a little bit, finish up, wrap up this video, hope we can catch a few more fish. And then I'm going to do a little musky fishing and kind of troll around the entire lake with the main motor here, and hopefully we can hook something. Try trolling for about 45 minutes to an hour before I take the boat out here. Nice little bass. Nicer than the other ones, I can tell you that much. Fishy, come on. There we go. Come on. But, a little bit nicer. Just over a pound. Probably going on about 2 years. Kind of right where I expected he would be. It's been a really cold summer thus far in northern Wisconsin. My worm just came off, bummer. But so the fish are, you know, they're kind of acting a little funny. They're not acting like they normally traditionally would, kind of in the middle of August when it should be really, really, really warm. So they're a little slow. They're a little sluggish. And you're not catching normally as many fish as you would. But the plus side to that is a lot of the fish that you are going to catch, for the most part, not this episode, are going to be a little larger, because the bigger fish tend to move around just a little bit more in the cold, sluggish weather than they do in that super, super hot weather. When it gets really hot out, you know, they kind of sit back, they go deep to the cooler water, and they're like, man, it's hot out, too hot out for me. And they just kind of hang out, you know, relax a little bit. So it's good and it's bad, but I think overall it kind of depresses the number of fish that you would catch versus it, you know, being 85 degrees right now. We'd probably be just slamming them on the top water. But right now, you know, they're not coming up. It's too cold, so we have to catch them on these rubber worms, kind of jigging along the bottom in the weeds. Catch a couple more fish here, and then probably wrap up this episode. You know, I've primarily been fishing rubber worms. I've switched to a darker pattern. I don't know if that's helping me or not. It's a little bit, looks a little bit more like a leech than it does anything else. Trying to avoid those little sunfish. I finally pulled on my leech lure because the only thing I was getting was just a little sunfish, which would be great if, well, it'd only be great if they were a lot bigger. So, oh, here we go. There's a fish right there. See if I can get him into the boat. Oh yeah, you're a little bit nicer. Come on, little guy. Fantastic time out on the water here. Come on, little guy. Oh yeah. All right. There we go. This one's a little bit more nice. A little bit more nice. This one's a lot nicer. All right. So there we go. A little bit nicer. You know, I would say just about under 2 pounds. Nice looking fish. No real marks on them. Haven't ever had a run-in with a muskie yet, which is nice. So I don't know. It seems like they may be. I don't know if I'm finding a better spot down here. You know, getting a little bit deeper with a little bit more weeds, or if they're just kind of starting to turn on and bite here. But we will find out if they're going to continue to keep on biting. That may prolong my little fishing experience here tonight. Although, man, tell you what, by the time you get up here and you get everything out and you start doing all this fishing, time just flies by. It's amazing how fast, you know, 2 weeks goes in northern Wisconsin when you're up here. Just, here we go. Ah, I missed him, having a good time. But, you know, I love being up here. This is very much my happy place, as they say. People are always talking about, you know, you got to find your happy place. You got to do things to make sure you as a person stays happy. And let me tell you what, I am happy, happy, happy. Because I'm up here in the North Woods fishing, just having a blast. You know, I love fishing so much. You guys know how much I'm really into it. I'm really passionate about it. And, you know, every fish, big and small, you know, I do really appreciate. I don't really like catching the small ones, but, you know, it's better than catching nothing. And it's a privilege and to actually be fishing, and you know, you have to appreciate every moment you get to go out to the great outdoors and enjoy it. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I am John from John's Fishing Channel. It's getting pretty dark out. I don't think I need my sunglasses anymore. But you know, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, favorite this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more John's Fishing Channel. See you guys.